Pokemon Emerald with only one Kecleon was really fun, but we need to get back to the brutal ones. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team of only one Chansey? Chansey is a weird one and almost as lopsided as it gets. Her health is absolutely insane, but her attack and defense are just rock bottom. Although her special attack is much higher than her regular attack, it's still abysmal, and her special defense is leagues better than her regular defense. Moveset-wise, she can learn a lot of solid moves, both by level up and TM, but they're almost all physical moves, so you can expect us to be doing horrible damage most of the run. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if you think I can win or not. I'm confident that I can beat the Elite Four, but I doubt that I can really get past Red's Snorlax. Also, anytime I fight something with Leech Seed, it's gonna be an awful fight. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use one Chansey. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Chansey so that we can do the whole run with her. I name mine Subscribe. Don't really feel the need to explain why on that one. We start with Pound and Growl, so nothing special. Super low attack and defense, but a whopping 40 health. For level 5, that's pretty crazy. Even with Pound being normal, so we have 50% more power, our attack is abysmal. This level 4 Pidgey almost took me out, and it's only the second wild encounter that I ran into. At this low of a level, the bad defense is worse than the good health is good. Like, seriously, it takes 3 hits to beat a Caterpie half my level. This is gonna be a rough start. Our first rival fight goes about as well as it can with a reasonably safe victory due to our high health, but in our 2 level ups, we've gained no attack points. We really need to get to Bellsprout Tower for some easy levels. We have a good time leveling there because in Gen 2, all grass moves are special, so between our solid special defense and our amazing health, they can hardly hurt us. Flying Gym time in this is always an easy one, but it could have been really bad. They never used Mud Slap on me even though they had all the chances in the world. Against his Pidgeotto, I had to use a handful of Tail Whips to actually lower his defense, and Soft Boiled to heal up as he spammed Gust. He could have just ruined my accuracy with Mud Slap and made it a battle of attrition, but instead, he stuck to Gust and I eventually got the victory. That was strange. Union Cave is usually a place I don't even bother bringing up, but it was brutal in this run because there's some rock trainers in there. It took me 2 minutes to beat an Onix because even with 6 Tail Whips, Pound did just about nothing. Anyway, I move on to the rival fight and... oh. Alright, I can't hit ghosts. Level up move list? Nope, nothing there. TM move list? Really? Just Mud Slap at this part of the game. Alright, I decide to do the Bug Gym first for levels. Metapod goes well, and Kakuna surprisingly didn't poison me, but I just couldn't beat Scyther because of Fury Cutter building power. The worst part is that I can't just go learn Mud Slap now to ruin his accuracy since he's part flying. Ground doesn't work on him. I've got no choice, I'm just gonna have to grind. Grinding here is absolutely horrible. I deal almost no damage, so not only do I need to take out a ton of enemies just to level, but each individual fight takes far longer than it should. I'm lucky that Chansey requires less experience to level up than most Pokemon, because this grind is bad enough as is. Eventually, I hit level 23 and replace Growl with Minimize, a move that raises our evasion like Double Team. Now we can beat Scyther. I get back in there, build up my evasion on Metapod, and very slowly beat Bugsy's whole team. That was much harder than it needed to be. Now it's rival time. Mud Slap does pretty low damage to Ghastly, but it's lowering his accuracy and Hypnosis is already a low accuracy move in the first place, so we take it out without getting hit. Second is Zubat. Pound doesn't do much and I get confused, so I'm hitting myself early. At least he isn't stealing much health with Leech Life. By the time he goes down, I've hardly been hurt, so it's not that bad. Last is Croconaw, so I Mud Slap for safety. He gets a few hits on me in spite of the low accuracy, but I was never in danger. I'm really happy that that actually turned out well. One last battle before the game opens up and it's Whitney's normal gym. Right away, Clefairy crits me with Double Edge, but she ends up taking tons of recoil damage from it. My plan is to get a couple of Mud Slaps in, then just heal and pound until she's down. I can't use Minimize because it makes me take extra damage from Stomp, and her Miltank has that move. Clefairy goes down in no time and Miltank is out. Now is when it gets brutal and the footage is going to be playing up very quickly. I Mud Slap 6 times to ruin Miltank's accuracy so she can't build up a rollout, then start using Pound. But she has Milk Drink so she can out-heal me. What I ended up having to do was just waste time until she ran out of stomps, then use all 20 minimizes so she starts running out of other moves like Milk Drink. Genuinely, after 8 full minutes of this, I started using Pound, and on my second from last power point, I managed to knock her out. That was a weird fight. With that done, I'm gonna have to grind like crazy. Here's Morty's team. As you can see, it's a ghost gym. I need to one-shot sweep most of his team, since if he hits me with Curse, I'm doomed. It's not even a move that can miss. Not only that, but normal type moves won't hurt him, and there's no way our 20 power Mud Slap with a base attack of 5 is gonna be enough to do any serious damage. I also have to get the Fire Blast TM since in Gen 2 it has 120 power and 85 accuracy, so I could use it to sweep Morty, but I have to gamble like crazy for it since it's 5,500 coins. That took forever. Eventually at level 40 I try the Morty fight and somehow, I can't even explain it, but his last Haunter survived Fire Blast even though his Gengar didn't. He then used Spite to remove my last Fire Blasts. That was just mean. Second try he uses Mean Look instead, so I take him out no problem. Honestly, for as awful as the gambling and the grinding was, I thought it would take more than 2 tries to win this fight. With that done, I actually decided I want to try the Steel Gym next. Usually it's a brick wall, but honestly between Minimize and Fire Blast, I might actually be able to do some serious damage. I mean, at least I do better than the fighting gym leader who's super effective against me. It ended up going shockingly well, with me getting my 6 minimizes and fire blasting my way through. I did miss one, but it didn't end up stopping me. Even the fighting gym wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought Poliwrath here would ruin me since he can use Mind Reader to make sure he hits, then Dynamic Punch to deal massive damage, but he actually only did that combo once. The rest of the time he just kept trying to use 50 accuracy moves on someone who's raised their evasion 6 times. Yeah, good luck with that. The Team Rocket base was pretty easy, but really slow. A lot of things here can poison you, and since I take forever to take anything out, there's a lot of chances to get poisoned. I move right on to Price's Ice Gym. He was shockingly easy. I thought he'd just spam rest and wait me out, but things actually went pretty well, and mostly thanks to them just not being that strong. We're at level 49, so we're almost halfway to the max level, so now's a good time to look at our stats. 323 health is absolutely ridiculous, but so is our hilariously terrible 27 attack. The level 20 Krabby that I caught to be able to use Surf has double that. I don't think we're even gonna get over 60 attack by the time we're level 100. It's gonna be that bad. Next is the Team Rocket takeover of Radio Tower, and it's pretty much the same deal as their hideout. Not too tough, but a lot of them can poison us. While I do that though, a lot of you guys have been asking me how I managed to put out so much content even though I do all of the editing myself. Well, I mostly learned my time management skills thanks to this class named Turning Procrastination into Productivity on Skillshare, today's sponsor. I've been using them for a couple years now, since well before I picked up this sponsorship, so I can easily show you a bunch of classes that have helped me improve the show, like Cleaning Up Voiceovers by Andre Angelo to help me with cleaning up my audio. Also, his name sounds like he should be a pro wrestler, so that's awesome. Or the aforementioned Turning Procrastination into Productivity. That taught me really good habits for staying productive and not getting distracted. Lastly, people always compliment me on how I look and sound on my streams, so recording vocals like a pro, nailing recording techniques and acoustics, and DIY talking head, lighting, and video production on a budget, both by Rob M, are ones that I highly recommend. Skillshare isn't just a place where you can learn video production stuff though, you can learn all kinds of stuff. Like I've been learning the basics of how to sing. I've also been wanting to spend some time to learn how to improve at graphic design, and that's only a quick search away. If you want to start your own YouTube channel, I'd really recommend watching some of this stuff, and with the annual price of less than $10 a month, the value is fantastic. If you want to try Skillshare, then you can click the link at the top of the description to get 2 free months of premium membership. If you end up giving it a try, tweet at me what classes you've been taking, because I'd love to add some to my own personal list. Anyway, midway through the area is a rival fight. I have to build up minimizes to last since I hardly do any damage to his team, but Fire Blast and Pound are slowly working my way through without being put in any serious danger. It's finally time for the Dragon Gem. This battle is brutally long because I get paralyzed instantly, but build up enough minimizes that he can hardly ever hit me. Pound is only 40 power. I'm insanely weak, and we're against proper Pokemon now, so it takes an eternity to beat each one of them. Even on Kingdra, I started pulling out Fire Blasts, just hoping to inflict a burn with no luck. So it was right back to using Pound until eventually I won. Now though is where things get real slow. I mean like days slow. So I'm grinding right now, and you're probably wondering why, considering I'd probably beat most of the Elite Four with Minimize and Pound. Well, I'd run out of power points doing that, and there are only so many elixirs and ethers around. Plus, I'd probably end up running out of power points during the battle, and since I can't use items in battle, I then have to rely on Struggle, and although I think it would get me far, honestly, I just don't think I could beat Lance by doing that. I just need a stronger move, and I have one in mind. It's Return. At max friendship, it has a power of 104, more than double the strength of Pound, but in gold, you can only get the TM for it on a Sunday. I got here on Friday. I can't just change the in-game clock because you could argue it would be an exploit, so I decided to just grind off and on until Sunday. Finally, when it reaches Sunday, I get the Return TM, replace Pound, and get some power point ups. I only leveled up 9 times, but that's mostly because I spent a lot of time editing other things. I go up against the rival, and between Fire Blasts and Return, he's no problem at all. They drop us by over 100 health, but that's nothing for us, so we win without a problem. I do need to keep grinding though. Look at this, I'm using a 104 power Return with the same type attack bonus, so it's 158 power, a little stronger than a Hyper Beam, and my attack is so low that at level 71, I can't one-shot a level 28 Sand Slash. Eventually, I hit level 80. Here's my stats. 538 health is absolutely insane, and my special defense is great, but that attack of 63 is horrible. That's like a level 25 Krabby. I just hope that I can one-shot Koga's team, because Toxic can just end me. Make your final guesses on if I can win or not. Let's do this. First is Psychic Trainer Will. He's a pretty easy beatdown since he relies on special attacks and my special defense is my second best stat, while his defense doesn't tend to be that great. He does a bit of damage, but nothing serious. In between fights, I drown in elixirs and move on. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. Ariados goes down fast, and I Fire Blast Venomoth for a one-shot since I know it has Toxic. Fortress has double weakness to fire, so he's a one-shot as well. Muck is the first real challenge due to him being tanky and using Minimize, so our second return misses, as we get nailed with a critical Sludge Bomb poisoning us. We miss again and get hit with a second one, so we're in rough shape before taking him down. Crobat is last, but he goes down to 1 return. He had me worried for a moment there. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. I built up my Minimizes right away before I started fighting back. Considering we're weak to Fighting type and we have a base defense of 5, I didn't want to take any risks, and thankfully, I didn't have to. Bruno's team didn't give us any trouble. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. Umbreon went down to a couple of easy returns, and Vileplume only took 1 Fire Blast. Gengar survived Fire Blast but finished himself off, setting a curse on us. This is bad. We only take damage on rounds where we don't get a knockout though. Murkrow hits Quick Attack and our return misses due to getting sand attacked by Umbreon, so we take big damage from Curse as we take out Murkrow on a second return. Houndoom hangs on from return, and between his Flamethrower and Curse, we're in really bad shape. Karen max potions, so we take Curse damage again, and we're down to only 81 health when we take him out. That was incredibly close. Finally, it's Pokemon Champion Lance. Gyarados is out first, and he hits Hyper Beam twice for decent damage as we build up our Minimizes. We have to heal back up with Soft Boil a few times since he keeps hitting me, but eventually, we take him out while being at almost full health. His first Dragonite misses Thunder Wave and goes down in 3 returns, then his second Dragonite tries the same thing and manages to hit. The second return takes him down as he sends out Aerodactyl, but he doesn't manage to land a hit before I take him out. Fifth is Charizard, and he nails a wing attack, but surprisingly doesn't do much. His Hyper Beam does a lot more, but we're still pretty healthy and take him out. Last is his third Dragonite, and although Paralysis is really starting to slow us down, we end up taking him out quickly due to him confusing himself with Outrage and Return being strong enough to end him. With that done, we're in the Hall of Fame and we win the challenge, but you know we've got to try to beat Red. As always in Gen 2 challenges, Kanto is a breeze until you get to the 8th gym and fight Blue, so let's skip ahead to that. Blue opens with Pidgeot, but it just doesn't stand a chance. Although his whole team hits us pretty hard and we are still weak, we're allowed to use held items in the rules, so I got the leftovers from Celadon City. It's a held item that heals you for 1/16 of your max health every turn. With most Pokemon, that's almost nothing, but when your max health is over 600, all of a sudden you're healing quite a bit. Naturally, we wipe the floor with his team. That doesn't necessarily mean we can handle Red though, he's much stronger. We're level 90 right now, so it's at least worth a shot. Red opens with Pikachu, and right off the bat I'm worried because he hits us with Charm, lowering our attack by 2 stages. When we're doing very little damage to his Pikachu, it's a bad sign. We get him to waste a few full restores before he goes down and Espeon comes out. He uses Reflect, so I spend some time using Minimize to save on power points, and although he gets a few hits in, mostly thanks to Swift, it's not bad and we take him out. That's when the real problem shows up, Snorlax. Both Fire Blast and Return do almost nothing to him, and I know he has Rest so he can fully heal himself 10 times. Not only that, but he paralyzes us early with a lucky Body Slam. I just don't stand a chance in this run, but if I can avoid Charm, we might be okay. A few tries later and we beat Pikachu without getting hit by Charm. Espeon is still easy, so it's on to Snorlax. This is a scary fight because I know getting paralyzed will be bad, and even a regular Body Slam does insane damage to us, but it actually goes shockingly well. I can only assume that Red has slightly randomized AI like some of the trainers in Gen 3 do, because he never once used Rest, even though he could have easily saved himself with it. He goes down before too long. Next is Venusaur, and Fire Blast on Return makes short work of him as Solar Beam misses. Charizard only takes a quarter of his health and damage each return, but a critical hit gets us a quicker victory than expected. Last is Blastoise, who instantly hits us with Surf, but we heal almost as much as he hurts us due to our crazy high special defense and health. It only takes a few hits before we take him out and beat the whole game. That was a pretty long one, especially early on, but it really did start to speed up at points. I really didn't think that Fire Blast would be something that I'd keep most of the game. I'm not sure what I want to do for next Saturday's Pokemon Challenge. I'm thinking maybe a Coughing in Generation 1 one because it's my second favorite Pokemon, or maybe something a little bit more memey? We'll see. Regardless, it'll be out next Saturday, as always, and I'm also always looking into your suggestions. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. If you want to see me do more challenges like this, please let me know in the comments or on Twitter. I can always use more ideas from you guys on what I should do next. Also, check out the playlist in the description if you want to watch all the Pokemon challenges I've already uploaded. There's like 25 of them. If you want to see more Pokemon stuff from me, my friend Whatageek and I are doing a Gen 1 randomizer over on his channel. Linked in the description. Also, come check out my Twitch TV streams and let me know that this video sent you. It's always cool to hear how you found the channel. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.